What if the true way to Lakers' greatness has never been about who sinks the final shot or who commands the hardwood in moments of victory, but instead about a silent chess game happening far from the roaring crowds? What if, beneath the shimmer of championships and the roar of the Staples Center, the real moves that change destinies are made not by superstar athletes, but by careful hands navigating power, legacy, and unimaginable sums of money? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this unfolding drama. Because today, we're peering behind the curtain of what could be the most seismic shift in Lakers history since the arrival of Kareem and Magic. It's not just another trade or free agent signing. No, this is a story about ownership, about legacy, about billions, and about what it truly means when the family that built one of the NBA's crown jewels steps back to hand the keys to a new custodian. For the first time in over 40 years, the longest tenure in NBA ownership history, the Buss family, guardians of Lakers' glory through decades of triumph and heartbreak, have decided to sell majority control of the team. And the price tag? A jaw-dropping $10.1 billion. Billion. With a B, that number doesn't just shatter records. It rewrites the economics of professional sports ownership in America. Just to put that into perspective, this deal outpaces the recent Boston Celtics sale by almost $4 billion. A rival franchise steeped in its own rich lore. And it places the Lakers not just at the pinnacle of basketball heritage, but seemingly untouchable in business valuation. But here's the twist: a familiar figure remains central to this transition. Jeanie Buss, the indomitable sister who has steered this franchise through storms and triumphs alike, isn't vanishing into the background. Instead, she will continue as the Lakers' governor, effectively the public face and day-to-day leader, wielding influence even as majority ownership passes hands. So what does this mean? Is it a graceful passing of the torch, a strategic alliance with someone who shares in the Lakers' ethos and history? Or is this a necessary concession, a settlement, to the pressures of an ever-escalating financial landscape that demands deeper pockets than the Buss family can supply? Enter Mark Walter, the man who's quietly been in the shadows for the past 4 years as a partial stakeholder, a billionaire whose empire already includes stakes in the Dodgers, the Sparks, and teams spanning continents and sports. Walter isn't just a money man. He is a visionary whose blueprint for success funnels through innovation, analytics, infrastructure, unrelenting investment. Think about what the Dodgers have accomplished under his stewardship: a World Series title, a front office that bucks convention, and a brand that pulses with new energy yet respects its traditions. Is Walter's ascent the signal that the Lakers will finally adopt some of that blueprint modernization wrapped in purple and gold? Magic Johnson, forever etched as both a player and a power broker for Los Angeles sports, didn't hesitate to endorse this deal publicly. When Magic says, "Job well done to my sister Jeanie Buss for striking an incredible deal," Mark Walter will be the best caretaker of the Lakers brand. That's not just a compliment, it's a seal of validation that the balance of business savvy and basketball soul remains intact. Yet, within every upheaval lies uncertainty. The Buss family isn't just any group of owners. Jerry Buss bought this team back in 1979. His 6 children have long wrestled with the future of the franchise. Some favored holding on, reluctant to relinquish power. Others recognized the shifting sands of professional sports finance and wanted to capitalize fast. Jeannie's role as the swing vote between her siblings is telling. Could this deal under her guidance be the perfect storm of pragmatism and loyalty? What intrigues me most is the twofold nature of this deal. It's not a simple sale, but a complex partnership with ongoing involvement. Jeanie Buss still owns approximately 15% of the franchise, ensuring the Buss family's heartbeat continues to echo in Lakers hallways after 4 decades. So this isn't abandonment, it's realignment. A move from dominant ownership to stewardship, with muscle and money. But given the Lakers' history, a franchise renowned for attracting stars and creating an aura unlike any other, can Mark Walter and Jeannie Buss together uphold that sacred culture? Ownership is more than checks and contracts. It's about environment. It's about creating a sanctuary where legends flourish and legends are born. Without that, you may have the deepest pockets in the league, but lose the magic that makes. The Lakers more than a team. They are a legacy. What Mark Walter offers is unprecedented financial firepower, and that promises strength in an era where the luxury tax, player salaries, and competition for superstars continue to skyrocket. The NBA has become a playground for billionaires like Steve Ballmer, Joe Lacob, and now Walter, whose deep capital could tilt the competitive balance in Los Angeles' favor. But beyond money, what dictates lasting success? Culture, magics, endorsement, the existing connection. The savvy of Jeannie Buss as governor of these are signals, potentially, that the Lakers will not just survive this transition but thrive. Yet, lurking beneath these positives is the harsh reality of modern sports business. No team can escape market fluctuations or internal discord. The Lakers brand is global and golden, but it's also fragile when shifted into new hands. The emotional weight for fans is tremendous after decades of familial stewardship. The idea of selling out or losing the soul of the club can trigger anxiety and skepticism. How do you put a price on legacy? How do you trust the new owners will honor the past, even as they reshape the future? And while the Lakers are a monolith, NBA ownership as a whole watches this transaction as both validation and a warning. The record-setting $10.1 billion sale isn't just a Lakers milestone. It's a league-wide recalibration. With other franchises selling recently, the Celtics, Suns, Mavericks, and Hornets, but none even close to this valuation. Does this set a new bar for franchise worth? And what does that mean for potential NBA expansion in places like Seattle or Las Vegas? Expansion once agonized over because of dilution could now be inevitable, fueled by the astronomical values these teams command and the money flooding the league. But in a sport where revenue sharing splits every dollar with players, expanding franchises could change the economics not only for existing owners, but also for players and fans. Will the Lakers emerge as leaders of this new NBA era, or will they be caught in the friction of ownership power plays, rising costs, and evolving league dynamics? The timing of this sale couldn't be more poignant. The Lakers are in urgent need of championship relevance once more, riding on shoulders of LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and supplemented by rising talents like Austin Reeves. The team's star-studded past haunts every offseason, and the pressure to deliver rings is relentless. How will new ownership influence roster construction? Will Walter's deep pockets translate to aggressive moves and fewer fears about luxury? Tax penalties? Could we see a Lakers version of the Dodgers' revolutionary approach to player development and advanced analytics finally take root here? The emotional contrast is sharp. On one side lies the heartache of past Lakers eras that fell short those painful losses against Celtics, Spurs, and Warriors. On the other, a tantalizing future where ownership with ceaseless ambition and mega resources could rewrite the narrative. Will Jeannie Buss's continued presence be the anchor, or will the business imperatives of a $10 billion deal supplant long-standing values? The stakes couldn't be higher. As a lifelong Lakers fan, I can't help but feel a mixture of awe and unease. There is an electric thrill in knowing the franchise's future is being bolstered by unprecedented investment, yet a pang of nostalgia for the familial bonds that once defined this team's identity. Are we witnessing the rebirth of a dynasty in the making, forged by balance, vision, and fortune? Or is this simply the same Lakers legacy being repackaged with new faces, a future shadowed by the same old pressures and potential pitfalls? One thing is certain, the Lakers story is far from over. It's about to enter a chapter that will test every notion of power, loyalty, and ambition in professional sports. But what do you think? Are we standing on the precipice of a golden renaissance, or just turning a page in the saga of uncertainty? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading every one. Look, Lakers Nation, before we dive any deeper, grab your purple and gold scarves, call your crew, and lock in tight, because what we're about to unpack here isn't just a transaction. It's a seismic shockwave hitting deep into the heart of what it means to be a Lakers fan right now. Think about LeBron James for a second, the man who's carried this franchise on his back like a titan for years, grinding through every injury, every playoff heartbreak, every media circus. He's navigating the twilight of his career, knowing the team's ownership landscape is shifting beneath his feet. Does this new chapter with Mark Walter waving a billionaire's checkbook mean less hesitation when it comes to adding that final piece, that key that could push the Lakers from contenders to champions once more? Anthony Davis, our unicorn, whose health and consistency have been the maddening roller coaster for fans. Does Walter's deep pockets and no love for innovation mean we finally get the infrastructure, the medical teams, and the roster flexibility to maximize AD's dominance for these precious championship windows? And what about LeBron's legacy in Los Angeles, the man who came here to win rings and silence doubters? Could this new ownership inspire a team culture where every star, every role player feels that undeniable urge to lock in and pour everything into purple and gold? Then flip the coin to the future, where Bronny's rise is more than just family story. It's an evolving chapter as a next-gen Laker under a new ownership vision. Will Walter's approach, known for smart investments, technology, and player development, provide Bronny the platform, the mentorship, the resources to not just inherit but elevate the Lakers' legacy? Austin Reeves, the scrappy underdog who's earned real respect from teammates and fans alike, serves as a microcosm of this transitional moment. Does this new dynamic push guys like him into leadership roles, empowered to set a tone that endures beyond any superstar's reign? But let's break down this internal chessboard. Jeannie Buss isn't stepping away. She's still in the driver's seat, governor of the team, the woman who's balanced family loyalty with hard-nosed business moves. And that's crucial because while Walter brings deep pockets and big brains, Jeannie brings decades of Lakers DNA, the feel of the locker room, the intimacy of the Lakers' roller coaster highs and gut-wrenching lows. This partnership could either be the perfect fusion or a fraud tug-of-war for every brilliant move Walter makes in the front office or strategy room. Jeannie's eyes and ears keep the soul in check, reminding him that here it's not just about dollars. It's about damn pride and history. Remember the 2010 championship parade? The buzz of that Staples Center filled with magic and Mamba mentality. The sweet agony of the 2020 bubble title that came with a pandemic shadow but still reignited the city's belief? Contrast that with the brutal heartbreaks 2011's first-round collapse as a heavy favorite. The years post-Kobe, where the Lakers seemed lost without that leadership. The post-2021 sputtering, when expectations collided with injuries and an evolving roster. Those moments leave scars in the fan base. We beg to not revisit them, but what if this ownership change finally seals those cracks and builds a fortress? Now, pump the brakes just a second and zoom out. This isn't happening in a vacuum. The Warriors, fresh off their dynastic run. The Nuggets, holding the West crown. The Suns, relentless in their pursuit. The Mavericks, hungry and lethal. And yeah, the Clippers, constantly lurking in the shadows, ready to pounce each franchise. Watching this Lakers sail with hawk eyes, plotting their next moves. Does this $10.1 billion infusion shift the balance like a giant chessboard flipped over West Coast style? What if this spurs a bidding war for stars, not just to land in L.A., but to get a piece of a Lakers basketball renaissance backed by historic cash and savvy leadership? Imagine the pressure on these rivals if the Lakers can suddenly afford to go all out and build a super team, not just out of desperation, but with smart, sustainable investments and next-level player development. But hold up, there are snakes in every grass. What if the flash and dazzle of billionaire ownerships start to influence decisions that prioritize optics, branding, and global expansion at the expense of gritty LA loyalty? What if the maddening luxury tax and the pressures of maximizing return on investment force the front office into trade-offs that stretch the fan base's patience thin? Imagine watching a Lakers roster that bleeds the heart of the city, shattered by expensive short-term gambles that rip at the fabric of team chemistry. This isn't just a fun theoretical game. It's what every Laker fan wonders late at night. How do you keep the swagger without selling the soul? But let's be real, the Lakers are not just a franchise. They're a living legend, a collection of moments and memories stitched together by players like Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaq, Kobe Bryant, and now LeBron and AD. That story pulses in every locker room, every draft pick, every trade rumor, and every buzzer beater. Ownership isn't just a business. It's the phone receiver for the players when things get dark. It's the person throwing the first pitch, sitting in the front row clapping after a clutch block. Jeannie Buss, with her internal battles, her vision, her fight to keep the Lakers from turning into just another commodity, represents that heart. Mark Walter? He's the storm of capital and innovation, the future knocking loudly. The question is, will they merge into a force that finally crushes the Western Conference, or create a flashpoint for conflict that fractures everything we hold dear? As a Laker till the day I die, here's how I see it. We are standing on the edge of something wild and wonderful, a high-stakes gamble on legacy, money, and culture that could either remake the purple and gold into an unstoppable dynasty or splinter its soul into fragments chasing fleeting glory. So I'm calling on every true believer out there, real Lakers fans. Ride or die sons and daughters of this purple and gold empire, drop your thoughts below. Tell me what you feel in your bones about this new era. Are we witnessing the dawn of a Lakers golden age powered by billions and bold vision? Or are we hanging on a thread, afraid that the family spirit that built this team is drifting away forever? Speak now, Lakers Nation. This is our moment of truth.